internationally, IDK definitely has caught my eye this year, especially with the release of his new album, which we know Judah loves. And I'm a sucker for any artist who can create like a consistent body of work that just keeps me coming back to it, listening to it on repeat again and again, but I get something new from it each time. And that album definitely has done that for me. So I remember listening to it for the first time. That was like an experience I'll never forget from this year. You know, being in lockdown and just hearing it. I was like, oh, I was really had an opportunity to absorb it and take in everything he was spitting. So other than that, though, like I love bits and pieces of R&B, and that's been on my playlist a lot. So like, not to just name drop anyone, like I love my girl Lady P. Totes to her, respect to what she's doing for the female rap movement in Sydney. You know, she's top tier for me. Adrian Swish, as I've always mentioned, Rashawn J, Kenyon Brown, Nick Marcus, and last but not certainly not least, Mr. Sahara. They're all artists that I love, you know, and I love hearing new music from all of them because they bring something new to the table, and I admire that in any artist. So I'm always down to listen to something that's not following any waves and they're just doing their own true independent sound, and I love to hear that.
Fuck yeah, man. That's a fuck. Just again, just these just the way I like these days. It's just you're always just thorough and you know exactly what you're saying, and it's just always, and just also the fucking predicting that song with blow up was like amazing because the dude was on Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy like
yeah. I'm telling you right now, I've got a weird, like, I don't know what it's a weird, like, supernatural thing. I can predict whether a song will be successful or not. Like I have this weird thing. For myself, it doesn't work all the time. Let's be real. Like, hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But when I heard that song, I just knew, like, this has the potential to be something big, you know, and I hadn't heard a track like that in such a long time because we got off of last year with so many, like, let's call them like strip club music. That's what everyone was releasing. They were all TikTokable sounds that people could just dance to, and people were forcing that through. But he didn't have any intentions for that to be what it was. It was a song he released in 2019, and then it just took off into its own. So being able to find that, I'm like, I take credit for the success. Nah, just kidding. Nah, I really like that I was able to hear that before it got to where it is now, because when people hear it now, they're sick of it. But I still can hear that song and enjoy it because I'm not tired of it because of TikTok. I think I look back at when I first heard it and how the experience was, you know?
It's because it's the way you discover it organically. Like that's how people's experiences with music differ anyway.
Exactly. Nah, that's why people always be asking me for my playlist for a reason. It's because I've got the good shit on there I know it's gonna blow up before it's gonna blow up. So, you know, make sure you follow my playlist on Spotify, you know, shameless plug.
Well, if you got, like, you know, if you got such an akin sense, you know, maybe you'll see what's coming up next.
Yeah, exactly. Just look on there to see what's on the Billboard Hot 100 in the next month.
Now, this is just a bit of a sidetrack question with IDK. How would you rank his three like main studio albums from I Was Very Bad, Use For Yourself, and Is He Real?
Well, I have to admit, I would probably do it newest to last, either going in the order of like going down back in days. So that's just off of, I think I need to get into the previous two albums a lot more for them to top his new album, because that one's been on my playlist. I haven't taken that one off at all. And I think because it's so new to me, I'm still like able to enjoy it and see like whether it's got an expiry date on it and if the music's going to have longevity to it. But looking back, I think he's really progressed with each body of work he's dropped, and I would go back to front with it. No, front to back with it.
Yeah.
Wait, back to front?
New to old.
Recent to least. Recent, yes. New to old. Thank you.
It's like Zane is like you explaining an extremely in-depth question very easily. It's like the words new to old.
I know, right? I'm the opposite. I'm good with the really difficult questions. With the simple question, I can't even get it out. Oh my god! But nah, definitely, I prefer the most recent album before the others. Yeah.
I'm weird. I like his recent one, like Use For Yourself, and then I go, I Was Very Bad, and then Is He Real?
Oh, okay.
But like, I just honestly like with Is he real? Like, is he real? It's not like it's like my least favorite one, but with I Was Very Bad, there's like not a single track I don't skip, and just like I like, because honestly I think I like it. It used to be Is He Real was a bit better than that, but because of his new album, it elevated it so much with like just more context.
Oh yeah,
family life and his mom.
Where you're coming from. Yeah, that's true.
Although, can we just talk about that last that's I'd say like that 5 to 7 run track at the end of Use For Yourself?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. I think, for me, when you're listening to a track list of an album, I'm very particular with where things are placed, because that can change or alter like my perspective of the body of work, because I like things to flow. But normally all of the best tracks of an album are put at the front of an album. They're always the first few tracks are always the ones that they think are going to be top hits. But the way that it was reversed, and like you can listen through and like he's still delivering, he's still going in, and I love that end of the album also. That really, I think, made me like, it cemented my belief that no, this is my favorite album so far this year.
Just because I feel like the first half of the album was really setting the tone of it, giving you a bit of background, and like it was like, it gave me like sprinkles of his personality. And then when that final fucking like bit hit, it just, dude, like I was on my
it off, cherry on top for me. Yeah.
Like I was on because my first listen, I was doing it while I was working out, so I did enjoy it on the first one, but it was a bit more like surface level, because like, a part of me is just like yelling to like do more weights and stuff, like just dumb people shit. And then on my second listen, it was just when I was cooking, so it's like it's a bit more mindless. It's just like put this there, and then it just hit really like, dude, like, oh,
I love that.
Like I really like Peloton, like, and a single, and it really aged well. But then it really added after 1995, and then just. Every single that he chose, I was happy that he did. Obviously, Shoot My Shot, I loved that track as soon as it dropped, and that caught my eye. That's why I did the throwaway bars to it, because that beat is amazing, and that track's great. I'm surprised it didn't like do more than it could have, because I think it had more potential to blow up. Weirdly, Prada Bang blew up more.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't understand. But yeah, anyway, I like all of the singles he chose, but I hope that he continues to drop more singles like post-release, because he's got a lot more potential to really pave the lane for himself.
Right now, as it sits, Cry in Church is my favorite song of this whole year.
Oh, yeah, really? Wow, that's great. I think definitely one of the tracks from that album will be in my top 5. But I need to sit down and look back on all of the songs from this year, because it's all been a blur. You know what I mean?
Bro, honestly, like it's like it blinked. It was January, then it was like halfway done, and then now we're in September.
I can't even comprehend it.
It's almost Father's Day.
I know, exactly. Father's Day is tomorrow. Like, damn. As we said many times, it is what it is. Oh boy, I think our generation is just gonna be telling our kids that everything, and they go, "Why do you always say that?" It's like, it's just the easiest way to accept. You'll never know. Yeah.
You don't know my struggle.
Yeah, exactly. So true.
Although, can we just a quick side tangent that I don't even know if I'll keep in? Can we just talk about how he had the shortest MF Doom verse ever?
Yeah, that's actually true. Actually,
yeah. Like, because it's apparently he shortened it because he didn't want to keep the full one in. And then like I was watching the Tiny Meat Gang podcast, ignore the name, and I think it was like Noel was talking about how when he had the listening party, he said the full verse was amazing and it was long, and instead of it being like a hook, he used like the full thing, and it was like more of like a freestyle like track.
He's like, I don't want to give him his moment.
No, he said he'd rather. He said it felt weird because he didn't want to propagate his own track and album off of this MF Doom thing. He wanted to blow up because of its.
Okay, I get you.
Also, I think the rest of the verse is either going to be like on some expanded pack, or it's going to be going to someone like on like another project of his, but still like because he's been working with MF Doom since I Was Very Bad, like, and that's years before. So like it's really tight. So I respect that he instead of like knowing, oh, I can coax off my way off this MF Doom verse, I'm just gonna I only need this small bit here. It's a hook, and it's just the fact.
I respect that.
Yeah. But well, still, Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I sent my mate that song specifically because that was the only way I knew who'd listened to the album. He's like, where the fuck was it? He was like, where the fuck was MF Doom? I was like, it's like that guy who said Wikipedia. He's like, that was all he did. I was like, yeah. I was like, isn't it awesome? He's like, no.
That's the best feature I could ask for. Yeah. It's like if Kanye brought one person in just to say Donda one time for the chanting.
Well, he did bring Andre 3000 just to say 30 hours on 30 hours.
Yeah, true. So pretty much similar. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, he pulled off that equivalent then already.
Yeah, true. Actually, I didn't think of that way.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, but IDK was superior. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, he did not get washed out on a single one of his songs.
No, which
which
is difficult to do when you've got like a couple features, and he doesn't have. Normally they'll have like 2 or 3, but now like predominantly on all rap albums,
Yeah.
they're saturated with so many features now. Like they can't drop it unless they've got so many features. So to think that you could still hear him in comparison to all of the featured artists throughout each and every song on that album, it's like very commendable.
yeah, and just yeah, because like he had like he didn't have like he wasn't even up against like scrubs. He had like West Side Gun, he had Jay Electronica, one of like just the best lyricists of like the 2010s on a track, on like the same track.
Yeah.
And he held his own ground, and dude, it was amazing. Also, one thing I didn't realize is, on if you listen to Is He Real, I think there's an instrumental on that is reused and sampled at closure at the end of the album. And
I think I noticed that when I first heard it. I haven't
Yeah.
like heard the full album a
Yeah.
lot since like in a few weeks because I've been
Yeah.
busy with other things. But I think when I first heard it, I noticed that. And that's why I like it, because I love when an album, you've got a different continuation or a motif throughout it and stuff like that. Just little bits in the production really pull it together. And I love stuff like that.
Yeah, honestly, because it gave it an instant sense of nostalgia, even though it just came out. Because you're thinking, why is this so familiar? Why is it so like just smooth and heavenly and just
Yeah, exactly.
okay? Our IDK boy fanboying aside, I already bother him enough on Twitter because every time he says it, like I just ask for a vinyl.
I think I've been through a few stages like that with artists that I was full on fangirling about, you know.
Because I just want to own a physical. I just want that yellow cover on deck. I want to make
for
sure.
Me, that's what sucks about like these really underrated independent artists, is retrieving their merch and like CDs and that, especially like in Australia, it's so difficult to find without these exorbitant prices that you find online with people selling them on eBay. So I'm like, he needs to become mainstream right now, please.